Good morning, folks. This is Countryside and I'm Jay Madison. We've got an exciting show for you today. We're out on Honeyville Pond up here in the town of Rodman. And this morning we're on a youth duck hunt. We're out with two high school students from Carthage High School, and we're joined by a conservation law enforcement officer with DEC. He's taking these two high school students out, teaching them how to duck hunt. It's gonna be a good time. So we're really excited about this and glad you could join us. Thank you to our sponsor, Afgritech, producer of AminoMax, supporting the effort to promote the agricultural industry by educating consumers and producers. So we're out here on Honeyville Pond, and out in front of us we've got another set of hunters here on the Youth Duck Hunt Day, but it's also still open season for the early geese. We've got some geese flying, and we're hoping that they will bring in some ducks. We're really targeting wood ducks and mallards this morning, and we're keeping our fingers crossed and waiting for Casey and Alec to score on their first birds this morning.
Two coming in straight, guys, no movement.
Oh, that flock's coming. We've got six young men and one young woman out as youth hunting this morning.
That's correct.
How do they get involved in this? What's the process of signing up to go hunting with a conservation officer?
Well, I know Steve Bartoszewski. He's one of our lieutenants out of our Watertown office. He puts a lot of time into putting sign-up sheets on Fort Drum, in our regional office, Gander Mountain when they were there. A lot of our officers are doing a lot of sportsman's education courses.
Right.
And we really push it at the sportsman education courses. It just affords kids an opportunity to get involved in a sport that maybe they don't have direct access to. Sportsman's education courses are probably the second biggest area where we pull kids from.
Something to the right.
Yeah.
Muzzles up, guys. You got Mark out in front of you. That's what happens, folks. Every once in a while when you've had a slow morning, you go out and you check your decoys. It just always seems to happen that the birds fly by when you're out in the middle of the pond. We headed out around 5 a.m. using headlamps to see where we were going. Mark Malone, the conservation officer we were with, helped Casey and Alec learn how to set out decoys. With it being a bluebird morning, not many ducks were flying, but Mark, Alec, and Casey traded a lot of hunting tales, and the two young hunters walked away with a great feeling for this conservation officer. While we didn't have any success harvesting birds, the other groups were able to come back with a total of 6 ducks. Ken was one of those who was successful. Tell me what happened. What were you doing?
Well, we were moving around this morning. Came in legal time, and it was like they were all in before we could shoot.
You had birds on the water in front of you before legal shooting hour.
And then after that, they all just kind of went away, so we moved to a different spot. One flew in and I took a shot.
You think you're ever going to go again now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty fun?
Yeah.
Lieutenant Bartoszewski, this is one of the birds that they collected today. How would you have these guys identify this particular duck?
Well, identifying any duck is kind of a process. First of all, certain ducks like to stay in certain areas. So if you're hunting a marsh, there's certain birds that like to be in a marsh. The next thing we look at is overall size. This here is a green-winged teal, and it's actually the smallest of the ducks in the area. You can rule out the blue-winged teal because the blue wings have large blue, powder blue patches on the front of the forewing wings here. To determine what type of teal it is, you can check the feathers on the speculum here on the wing. You can see that they're the metallic green in color and the white bands on the base of it. Just based on where you took it, the size of it, you can pretty much figure out that it's a teal.
Ken did a good job. If this was his first bird, Ken did a good job of collecting a green-winged teal.
Absolutely, it's always a good shot to get a teal because of the way they fly, especially if you knock it down out of the air. It's definitely a good shot.
All right, well, congratulations there, Ken. Nice one to bring home. Once we returned to the Watertown Sportsman's Club, the conservation officers had a variety of great prizes for the young hunters. These officers go out of their way to make this a great experience for the youth. The Sportsman's Club is very generous in providing the clubhouse and lunch for the hunters. They even gave me a certificate for worst duck caller of the morning. Together, the officers and the Sportsman's Club do a great job. Folks, we're standing here with Bill Scott. Bill's the president of the Watertown Sportsman's Club, and the Watertown Sportsman's Club has been a huge supporter of youth in general, and then especially youth in shooting sports, hunting, fishing, everything. We really appreciate what you do to support the youth hunt that we've been involved in today.
This is our 8th year. We do one in the spring and one in the fall. The spring was the turkey hunt, and then we do the fall waterfowl. Steve Bartachowski got involved with it 8 years ago, came to us and asked if we'd be interested, and we jumped on board right away along with Mark Malone. Got my kids into it. I've put 5 kids through it now.
So what are you hoping that the youth take out of this?
Responsibility. When they go out with a law enforcement officer, they learn a little bit more, they respect the sport more, and they get a little education out of it. Besides taking the hunter safety class, I think going out with a DEC officer who's in the line of work, out there all the time, it makes the kids not afraid of the officers.
Well, you know, one of the things I've seen over the years, Bill, is that, you know, the conservation officers are there enforcing our game laws so that you and I and the youth coming up through have, you know, the opportunity to enjoy that sport, that there are deer and waterfowl and fish out there for us to catch. Without those laws and without the folks that, you know, enforce those laws, we wouldn't have the opportunity that we do to enjoy those. Well, Bill, I really appreciate it. Bill Scott, the president of Watertown Sportsman's Club. They have been sponsoring this program, the Youth Hunt with Conservation Officers, for all 8 years this program's been going on. It's great, really appreciate it.
No problem, we love doing it.
Hey there, folks. Don't forget to subscribe to WPBS Short Flicks and share this channel with your friends. If you have any questions or ideas for future episodes, please leave us a comment. Thank you.